What's up, gamers? Welcome to another episode of Get Your Gamesense Up. My name is Bios, your annoyed average gamer.
And I am Super Kami GP. Guys, Avengers, assemble!
In today's episode, we're going to talk about season passes and battle passes and what they mean in today's gaming market. Because as we all know, it's what every industry is leading up to. And we're also going to talk about what are the benefits of them and also our thoughts.
For the past 5 years, if not longer, maybe like the past 8 years, especially with the rise of more free-to-play games and live service games like Destiny and Anthem and Division or whatever, Sea of Thieves, etc., and of course Avengers, battle passes are becoming more of a prevalent thing rather than season passes. And they do both have their place in the industry, and Bios and I have been talking about them quite a bit for a while now, and we do have different thoughts on how much we'll accept from either one. Bios, why don't you start by just telling the community what a season pass is and what a battle pass is exactly.
Right, so for those who don't know, a season pass is basically where you would pay an additional fee to a game, or if it's free to play, to where you get access to content that gets released over a period of time, let's say a few months or over a year. And a battle pass is basically a leveling system where you get to pay, let's say $10 or $15 to a experience bar. And every time you level up, you get access to exclusive rewards and special things like that, cosmetics, currency, etc.
Yeah, so as Bios was stating, with the season pass, you do get a lot of different content, whether it's like more story content or new weapons or new missions entirely. And sometimes an introduction of a new character depending what type of game you're playing, like it's a fighting game like Mortal Kombat or Injustice. And the biggest downfall of a season pass, as much as I do like them, because it's a one-time fee, even though I've personally haven't purchased many season passes. The only season passes I believe I ever purchased for was Arkham Knight when that first came out years ago, and I think maybe one of the Destiny expansions I got a season pass potentially. But with Injustice, I had the deluxe edition from day one, so I got the stuff with my game. But I haven't purchased many season passes myself. I've gotten them afterwards, and they've been on sale like for Tomb Raider. But yeah, I'm drifting. With the season pass, the biggest downfall of them is that it restricts people from playing certain things. Like back in the day when Call of Duty and Halo had a season pass, and if you didn't get the season pass or that DLC bundle, you couldn't play certain missions. Not missions, but certain multiplayer maps, right? So they would break apart the community. So it's like some of the communities playing on these maps, while the other ones aren't playing on the paid-for maps. And same thing with Destiny back in the day when Destiny first released, Destiny 1. The path from Dark Below, and if you didn't have that, there were strikes and there was multiplayer maps you couldn't access, and they had so many different nodes. Like, oh, you can go on this playlist if you have Dark Below but not Curse of Osiris, and you have this access if you have Curse of Osiris but not Dark Below, and then of course there was another playlist for if you have everything. So it really breaks apart the community, and not everyone can experience the same content. So that's really the biggest downfall for season passes. And of course, there is always potential, especially in today's market, of was this content that you're selling now part of the original game and you just cut it up to sell it to me later? Which is exactly what Destiny did. Most games today, at least with single player games like Assassin's Creed or Cyberpunk that comes out, or like Watch Dogs, most of those single player games, it is a full game, and then they do build additional stuff to add to the main game. If not, they break it up. These live service games, you never know. Destiny is the biggest one for that. It's like, what am I getting with my season pass? So to me, I'm okay with season pass. And in a game like Overwatch, I've always said I wish there was a season pass. If I could have paid $30 up front to get me like 3 characters on Sombra and Orisa, I would have done that, because that would have forced Blizzard to have been more on top of a schedule, because I was a paying consumer to release content. Whereas when I was at the mercy of them, Of Blizzard, it's like, oh, when are we getting Sombra? I don't know. It took us forever and a half to get these characters. And then, oh, are we getting a new map soon? I don't know. Maybe. At least if you're a paying customer, they can't just be up in the air with the content. They tell us up front, here's a roadmap and here's what you're getting with Season Pass. So I'm okay with Season Pass to a certain extent. What about you?
I'm like, as you were saying, like I'm okay with season passes, like, but not in that way, I guess. So like when it comes to the multiplayer stuff, the single player stuff, and just in that format where you get a complete game, and then over the course of a few months or within the year, um, you would have this many DLCs. If they were to put that in a package, then okay, yeah, sure, I'll pay this one time thing and then I'll get each DLC the moment they come out because I already paid for them. That's fine. But for some reason, it's just not the same thing when it comes to multiplayers because companies know that, these, like, you want to play with your friends and you want to get access to all these cosmetics and you want, these maps and all that stuff, to have that interaction within the community. They know
I mean,
that.
in a multiplayer game, the main thing you would be able to sell would be the maps. How else would you expect them to make a little money for their thing?
It doesn't have to be the maps. They could charge for other things, like, yeah, like the heroes or hero skins or little story bits here and there, like that won't really divide the community. Like people will still be able to play these maps when they come out because it's being paid for through other ways that that's not as intrusive, like the characters or a story. Not a lot of people like story in video games. A lot of people don't care. So for those people who do care and want this character or whatever, they can pay for it. But when it comes to PvPs or PvEs type stuff, people can still play together and keep that moving forward. So it's kind of like a toss up. There's still not a healthy balance for it. So that's why I'm still kind of opposed, only when it comes to how they have it right now for multiplayer.
And okay, so with battle passes, I'm personally okay with them overall to an extent. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty okay with battle passes. There's not been too many games that have been really bad with them. I don't think a $60 game needs a battle pass. Like the Division 2, when they had their second expansion for the New York expansion, they added a battle pass to the game, which even though the Division 2 was on sale for like $3 for like 4 months or whatever, I still don't think a game like that needs a battle pass when you're paying to play.
Absolutely.
Free games, I'm okay with a battle pass. Totally. They have to find a way to make some money for themselves. And a lot of games with battle passes have a free track and a premium track. So just playing the game, you're gonna get content or whatever. But if you pay an additional $10, $15, $20, you get more premium exclusive content with the battle pass, which I'm okay with. I know Bios is a bit more about it. So Bios, why don't you go into why don't you like battle passes?
I don't like them at all, especially for games that are already paid $60 plus, and they're throwing that in there just to nickel and dime the player. So from just kind of like bring it for what you said, for when it comes to free games doing it and having a free track, I still don't like it because there's still instances where they would try to push you into the paid model by hindering your progression, by making leveling up very, very slow and tedious, or making the rewards in the free battle pass not as compelling, so that you have to get the paid one because people who pay get to look cooler and stuff like that.
That everything else I agree with, but the premium stuff having better stuff. I mean, of course, it's a premium battle pass. Why would they give if the game is free and there's literally no other ways to monetize the game to make actual revenue? I wouldn't be like, oh wow, the people are paying are getting better stuff. That's not fair. I paid $0.
I'd rather. Well, that's why I don't like the battle pass, because you get put into that set of quote unquote rules where, well, of course that they have to get something better because people are paying for it. It doesn't have to be like that. Like, from for what I've been saying for battle passes, is just not have them at all and just have the game as regular, where you level up, you play the game to get the content or the cosmetics and stuff that you want. Or if you're just impatient, you can go ahead and buy that from the store and not have to deal with putting in X amount of time because you don't have the time, but you're fine with spending the money for it, to just spend the money and get it. So that way, when, like, let's say you and I, we get into a game and you paid and I didn't, I don't have to be like, oh my gosh, I can't get that bow that looks really cool and yada yada because you paid for it. No, I'll say, okay, you bought it, that's fine. I can get it too. I just got to play a little longer and I'd rather play to get it. Like, you have that option for those types of players and you are appeasing to everybody. So that way
Okay,
people don't feel left out.
okay. So that's very I don't agree. I don't agree for a couple of reasons. That I do think battle passes incentivize people to play even longer than they normally would, right? Like back in the day when I used to play Fortnite, just was a very brief period of time. I was like, oh my god, like I didn't have the premium battle pass, I didn't care for it. But having the free version, I was like, oh, if I get to level 15 or whatever, 20, I know I can get this thing. It incentivized me to play more than I actually would have. Because, I stopped playing Fortnite within a month or whatever. But the battle pass is what kept me going. It's like promising me to do that. And again, let's say a game like Fortnite or Apex or Warzone, where they don't have battle passes, there's no, you wouldn't just get things like, oh, I got this John Wick skin or the Spider-Man skin from Fortnite when I got to level 50 in my premium version. But if battle passes didn't exist, I wouldn't say they would just be in there. They'd probably only be in the store, and it'd be like $40 or whatever. But that's how games are. I don't think just getting rid of battle passes would solve anything. If anything, getting rid of battle passes would make things a lot worse. And the microtransaction stores would be way heavier than they actually are, because a lot of people buy battle pass, and then sure, not everyone completes them, but that one-time $10 payment or $15 payment does so much more for the company for the person who might spend $40 on a skin or whatever. So I don't agree with that part. Like, again, if something is free, there's nothing wrong with trying to get someone to spend $10 for something better. Like, sure, you can say you can play. Like, I don't have a problem with you obtaining to get it through the game, but the battle pass should have exclusive stuff. Why would it not have exclusivity? It's like having a Patreon. Like on YouTube. You're big on YouTube. You're really into YouTubers or whatever, or OnlyFans nowadays, because OnlyFans like the new Patreon.
Okay.
There's people, not talking about that side of OnlyFans, but like the regular, what it was supposed to be. OnlyFans was just for people to sell content. It became something else. But people have Patreon or whatever, and they're like, hey, you can watch all my videos for free on YouTube or whatever. But if you want to see more stuff of me, like how I make my videos or exclusive videos on my Patreon, you can put like $1 down or $5 out. It's the
Okay,
same exact thing.
it's not really, that's just extra stuff that they know that there's a lot of people in the market that would not be interested in that. For those people who are dedicated and are very, very into that YouTuber and want to support that YouTuber even
Okay,
further.
the same thing with the battle pass. It's like, oh, I can play. It's the YouTuber in game like Fortnite. Same thing. You can watch the YouTuber for free and get all that content you want for free. But it's like, oh, why would I pay? Why would I give you $5 for something I'm already watching you do for free on YouTube? Well, but you support that person. So people, I remember the first time I heard someone buy the battle pass for Fortnite, like a year or two ago. It's like, oh, I really like this company and I really like this game, so I bought the battle pass. I want to support them because it's a free game.
I don't see what the
Um,
difference is by just having the same thing and just be like, I support these people. I would rather just buy it and then, like, and still support them. Like, at least there's a choice in the matter. And still, the company is still gaining a lot of stuff by having people actually play the game and spend time in the game. So I don't see
sure, but
how
they're not
there
making as
isn't.
much money. Just because people play the game, that doesn't mean the company just makes money just like that.
Okay. So when you say
People need
like
to
the
make
company,
purchases.
when you say the company won't make as much money, are you talking about in the sense that they're unable to support themselves, or to the point that they're not making the billions of dollars that they're making with the current model?
support themselves. If okay, let's say we're talking about like Fortnite. If Fortnite took out their battle pass and their microtransactions and only had microtransactions, they would not be able to support themselves 110%. I would say support the battle pass is probably like a good 40% of their revenue, right? I truly believe that.
But look how
Not
but look how much an empire Fortnite is.
Yeah, yeah, it's Fortnite, but look at Apex. Apex is on the same level as Fortnite. Or look at or Bleeding Edge. Look at Bleeding Edge doesn't even have a battle pass. Look at that game. Just
What's a
because
paid game?
okay, but the thing is, just because a game doesn't have microtrans, if a game doesn't have those access, yeah, I do believe if Fortnite took out the battle pass, that game would not survive. Some of them supporting it now they could right now, but I'm sure they have a lot in the bank. But, like,
But that's not what. But that isn't what made Fortnite huge. Fortnite became
sure,
huge.
I'm not-
Right, Fortnite
the
became
game
huge because
itself.
of the game itself. So I don't think
But
that's
okay,
I don't think that's what would have put them under. If they were to dedicate themselves to the other mode, that would put them under. I don't think that's a good argument, or even to say as an excuse to say, "Oh, if your game is bad, just put battle passes in it so that you can
I'm not saying
keep
that. I'm
going."
not saying that.
Okay, but
But
that's
you're
exactly
making
what's
it sound
being in
like
Pride.
you're making it sound like that companies shouldn't have microtransactions in their game. That
I'm
battle
not
passes
saying
are too
that.
much.
I'm not
The
saying that.
battle
I just
passes
have
are
a
too
problem with the
much.
battle pass. I have nothing. I don't like. There's nothing wrong with microtransactions as long as it's fair and it makes sense. It's just that the
Okay.
battle pass itself I don't like
All
because
right.
you're
So one.
monetizing the leveling system, which shouldn't be monetized.
Okay. Another monetizing the leveling system. You can still level in the game for free. Just play the game. You'll level up. But it's as you're leveling up, you're getting cool stuff like whether it's currency or skins. It's an incentivization to keep playing as a certain character, like an Avenger.
Okay.
If you want to keep going up.
Okay, so when I compare it to, for example, let's what was that other game? It's like Fortnite. I mean,
Okay.
huh? No. Fortnite graphics, but Monster Hunter. What's that game called? Dauntless.
Dauntless, yeah.
That was ridiculous. That's kind of like the reason why I stopped playing the game.
Which is what happened.
They had like a free something. I'm not sure if it was a free battle pass or whatever it
Yeah,
was.
they had a free track. They had a free track as well.
The stuff in there was so like not worth it that it was kind of like,
Okay, but look, you shouldn't be playing a game like Dauntless. You're not playing the game for the battle pass, though. There's a lot of cool content and armor and skins that you get from playing the game. The battle pass is an additional thing, right? In a PvE game like Dauntless, the battle pass is not why you play. You don't play Fortnite for the battle pass as well. Again, battle passes incentivize you to play longer to get stuff as you're leveling up, but you don't play a game for a battle pass. You just play the game and you're getting stuff as you continue. I guess that's what you. Again, if you think, oh my god, if I can't get the premium track, I might as well not play this game. No, that's not what the game is for.
no, of
And like,
course
sure,
not. Like,
I
sure,
remember
you can still play, but what I'm saying is
I,
that
I
when
remember what you're saying. Dauntless, the free track wasn't as cool as the premium track. But it doesn't matter because you get a lot of cool stuff from playing the game. You get a lot of cool armor from the game itself, and that's a PVE game. Whereas a PvP game, it doesn't matter because the only way to obtain stuff is through loot boxes or the free track or buying it.
the armor that you would get wasn't like, it's just the base armor for the game. If you want to look even cooler, like when they were having that I forget the name, but there was like this little Chinese rabbit themed ninja thing that was going on. You could not get that unless you had the battle pass.
Okay, but
And then there's also like certain colors that were locked away in the premium that you could not get in the free or in the game.
okay, so like let's say we're talking about the color red, and the only way to get the color red is through the premium pass. If that was me, if I really like Dauntless or whatever, I would say, oh, you know what? Oh well, I'm out of luck. I'll just use the color blue. Blue's free. I'll use the color blue. I'm sure there's alternatives, right? Just like again, you're just out of luck. Oh well, but they They're
It
rewarding
shouldn't be
everybody.
like that. Oh my gosh, you can't pay, so you can't get this thing that.
Well, that's how it is. That's like saying, "Oh, you can't pay."
Okay, but that's like the whole thing about this. Like, you can't just sit there and say, "Oh, that's just how it is." No, like there's a certain point where it's just like it
Okay,
should
but you
not
can
be
say that
like
about
that.
literally every single industry. Literally every single industry. Every industry sells things to their more premium users. Like, look at the most recent iPhone 11, the iPhone SE, iPhone 11 X, iPhone 11 XS Plus Max, whatever they're calling it, Ultra, is not for every single iPhone user. It's not. That's for the more premium people who want to spend that premium price. It's like, oh, why does my iPhone SE that I paid for $400, $500 not have 6 cameras and a motion flight sensor and 3D all of this, all that? Like, no,
That's not the same
well, it
thing.
is the same thing. You're paying
No,
for
it's
more
not.
premium stuff. It
No, it's
is.
not. No. That is not the
It's
same
like, oh,
thing.
I'm giving you a thing. Why can't I have 4 cameras? It's the same thing. It's literally the exact
No,
same
if
thing.
you want 4 cameras, save the money and get the 4 cameras. That's
Okay, but
they're not
everybody can save.
the
Not
thing.
everybody
They're
can
not
save.
saying no. There's no membership to Apple where it goes, oh, you're paying so much money every month or whatever. You have access to the iPhone 11. That's not what they're doing. That's not the same thing at all. No, this is also the reason why I don't like why the majority of it I don't like. It's that people they're taking advantage of people who are not vocal, who are unaware, and they're trying to make it the norm.
Okay, well, I've been sitting on this. Let me say this real quick. So one of the benefits of the industry adding battle passes to most of their games now is that there's a lot more free content that comes to games. Let's talk about a game like Call of Duty, a really big game, right? Before, like I said, you would have to buy the multiplayer maps individually or in bundles or whatever in the season pass. But now multiplayer maps are totally free. Why is that? Because they're making money through other revenues, whether it's through microtransactions and battle passes. Looking at the biggest game we really want to get to in this conversation is Avengers. Avengers could easily have a season pass where they could lock off new story missions, new locations, new characters. They could easily do that, but no, they're giving all that stuff away for free, totally free, right? All you just buy the game once and you keep getting free updates, right? And the only thing there are microtransactions, and the microtransactions in the game are not great. Like $14 for one skin for Hulk, that's disgusting, literally disgusting. But they also give you a lot of free credits, which I need to explain to you, BIOS. That's the benefit of battle passes have been doing. Since microtransactions are becoming more of a norm in the industry, there's a lot more free stuff coming to gamers. If Avengers came out 5 years ago, 6 years ago, you bet your ass they would be charging for a season pass for, hey, do you want to play Black Panther? Get this season pass. Hey, do you want to go to Wakanda? Get the season pass. Hey, do you want to see the part 2 of the storyline? Get the season pass. But no, that's not a thing anymore. So battle passes has been part of the industry saying we're going to give them free stuff because they're making revenue elsewhere. Now, let me ask you, would you rather pay a season pass, like let's say it was $30 for 2 characters and like 4 new locations in a game like Avengers, or would you rather get all that stuff for free and not have to buy something you're selling in a battle pass?
If in the season pass I get access, well, that's still not even a pro.
What do
I
you
was
mean
gonna
access to?
say, I was gonna say, if I have access to like because in a game like this, you would still want to customize and try to make the character
Yeah,
actually
let's say there's
buy.
no battle pass on Avengers. There's no battle pass. You get everything in the game from playing. But I'm asking you, what's your preference? Would you rather pay a $30, $40 price tag to have access to certain things? Or would you rather get all that stuff for free and then have the option to buy a battle pass?
I think the better question is
Oh my God, look at
no,
him, guys. He can't answer the
no,
question.
because
Is
we
it better
talked
to
about
lose
we
access
talked
to
about this
something?
before. It depends on how the game is.
Okay, no, answer that question first. And we're talking about the general discussion of would you rather pay $30 for this content or get it all for free and have the option to buy the battle pass? Because they're not forcing you to buy the battle pass, but you get all that content for free. What do you think is better, truly, for the industry?
I don't know.
Oh my God, look at him, guys. Okay, he doesn't want to say it. He knows the answer is
I
better
okay,
for free
you
stuff.
no, because like it's easier to say it that way. I want. How about you answer my question and tell me why can't
Okay,
it just be the other way?
which other way? The season pass way?
No, why can't
I
they
mean,
just why can't they just have it to where if people who want to pay they can, and people who want to play the game they can? Why?
okay,
And
they do have that.
I'm
They
not
do
talking
have that.
about like that type of content. I'm talking about like for like cosmetics and stuff like that.
Okay, they do have that. You know, if we're gonna talk about a game like Destiny, Destiny has lots of cosmetics you got in game or whatever, and there's literally one armor set that's behind the battle pass. Literally one armor set of the 30, 40 armor sets that's in the game that you get from playing. You want to be upset for one armor set because it might look cool. It's like just get a different armor set. There's plenty that they put in the game
No,
already. But but okay, let me finish. Let me
you're
finish.
just saying like just deal with it. That's not an answer.
Okay, that is just deal with it because
No, it's not.
it's their platform, it's their property. If they want to sell something to somebody who wants to spend a little more, they're more than they're more than allowed to do that. Same thing with the Patreon thing I was bringing up before. It's like if that person, this YouTuber, if it was me, if I wanted to sell, make extra videos on the side and sell it to my audience, I'm allowed to do that. It's like that's like you saying, why is Super Kami having a Patreon? Why does he just put all that stuff on his YouTube? Isn't he making money from ad revenue? Yada yada yada. Like no, like they chose to do that, and I'm not gonna be mad at someone for having a Patreon. Right? I still have access to thousands of hours on YouTube already. It's the same exact thing. I don't see why. I don't see a problem for selling a totally optional thing. It's totally optional.
It doesn't feel optional.
It maybe to you, but it is. I've
Mm-mm.
never been inclined to purchase a battle pass. The only one I've ever purchased is Destiny's. And again, battle passes have in a game like Destiny, battle passes essentially replace the season pass because you purchase the season. It's like buying the DLC for those 3 months or whatever. But I have access. Like remember, you played Destiny when you didn't have the season pass or the battle pass for that season. You couldn't do a lot of the stuff, the vaults or whatever, the underground.
Exactly.
mines.
All that stuff was locked away from me.
Okay, but that's like the same thing as the DLC. That's pretty much DLC, right? That the way they sell it is pretty much DLC. It's not you get DLC and you get a battle pass, right? But you're okay with DLC. You're okay with buying DLC, but you're upset that it had a battle pass attached to it. So I don't really see a problem. You're okay with them selling DLC, but because the DLC had a battle
I'm
pass, that you got
okay.
with it,
I'm okay
you had
with
a problem.
I'm okay with DLC as long as that the main game that people paid money for is a
Okay,
good
they do.
product.
Okay,
No, it was
okay, yeah.
not. No, it wasn't.
Okay.
Don't you dare.
Oh no, I don't. We're not getting to that. But okay, let's say talking about a game like Avengers again. Avengers is a full, complete game. There is not a single YouTuber, as much as hate as it's getting online right now, no one will say it's a bare game that there's nothing to do. There's lots of things to do. People might say it's repetitive or whatever, but there's lots of things to do in Avengers, right? And again, as I stated, they're going to be adding a bunch of free content to the game. There's nothing wrong when a new character that they could easily sell a new character when it's that introduced to the game that there's a premium battle pass. Oh, I'll pay $10, which you don't even need to spend, but you can get that in for free, like you're always saying, for free in game. There's nothing wrong with them selling a little extra for themselves. There's nothing wrong. Right? And again, they promised you, hey, you buy Avengers for $60, you're gonna have the 6 characters, you're gonna have like 8 different zones with like 40 different missions and all these different assignments and bounties and all these different skins you get in game for free, right? They promise you that value. They promise you that the 6 characters, the 10-hour story mission, all those extra things. And in a month or 2 months, they're like, hey, we're gonna add 1 new character for free, but if you want, there's a $10 battle pass, and you're up in arms. They promised you they gave you the product they promised you. And again, if you're talking about a bad game, sure. When you're talking about base Destiny 1, yes, that's a whole different conversation.
And
You're
2.
absolutely right. No, not 2. 2 wasn't cut up like I think
They reverted all the progress they did from 1. You forgot that?
Yeah, but making a bad game is not the same thing as making an intentionally like schemy game, right? Destiny 1 was an intentionally schemy game where they cut things up to sell it later.
If a bad game is a bad game, period.
Yes, a bad game is a bad game, but I'm not gonna. there's different types of bad games. Like,
No, it's a bad game is a bad game. That's it.
there's different types of bad games.
No.
So like Anthem, I would say Anthem was a bad game because those people were incompetent, but not because they were scheming with their microtransactions.
Okay, but a bad game is a bad game.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But you saying, oh, they reverted back to all the stuff from D1, that's just because they're incompetent. That's not because they were trying to sell something they shouldn't have, that they could have put for free. You understand?
Okay, but it still doesn't like change the fact that it's a bad game. It doesn't excuse them from anything of trying to sell battle pass and stuff because of that.
Again, well, you know, in the terms of Destiny, when Destiny had their battle pass, the game was already out for 3 years and it went free. The game was free, so the battle pass was literally $10. You could have just bought. Destiny was a free download when battle passes came out, so that kind of counteracts the argument you're talking about here about it being free.
Not to me, but okay. Agree to disagree. That's what it's all about.
I mean, yeah, but again, just for final thoughts, I have zero problem with the company adding a premium track for people who want to pay. It's totally optional. Want to pay for people to get it. Again, when you can play the game as normal and level up and get your things, and it's like, oh hey, I want that specific suit, $10. You know, and sure, it's not for everybody. Not everyone's gonna spend $10 on a game. I've played lots of games with battle passes that I never.
Is that people are not going to spend $10 on a game? It's like people are not going to spend $10 on a cosmetic.
Oh yeah, but I'm not saying spend $10. Hey, well you're wrong because Valorant selling skins the color blue for like $50.
And look at the uproar that happens every single time.
It doesn't matter because they keep doing it because people are buying it. Clearly, if no one was buying it, they wouldn't be doing it.
And that's the problem.
Right? Okay, but you're right. You're absolutely right. That is a problem, but it's still they're making money for it, so they're gonna keep on doing it, right? So same thing. And the battle pass is not saying $10 for one blue gun. You know, that's not the case. You're getting, at least the Avengers, you're getting $13 worth of premium credits. You're getting like 6 or 7 skins. You get like 5 emotes, about 10 nameplates. You get over 200 currencies and other currencies in the game. It's not just $10 for one shirt. It's $10 for a lot of stuff.
Most of them I just stopped playing.
I know.
Like, I can't get it. Why? What's the reason? But all I'm saying is on my side is that those earnable things should be earnable and should be an option for people who want to buy it. They can. But if you like buy a game and it's $60 and they want to be like, oh yeah, boom, battle pass, oh yeah, boom, microtransaction store, oh yeah, boom, etc., etc. No, what are you doing?
It's not like they give you a $60 game and there's nothing in the game. There's stuff in the game for you to do.
Okay, but you need to have there's a limit. Like you can't just be like $60 and then $10 and then there's a whole freaking store. No, dude.
You're absolutely right.
If you're gonna do it like that, all I'm saying is make it optional. If people want to buy those things in your store, they can. If people who want to play the game that they paid $60 so and so dollars for, they should be able to and still get those items. I think it's just a win-win for everybody.
I mean, you're right. It is a win-win, but I don't see a problem at the same time for people who want to spend a little more to get a little more. I don't see a problem with that at all. The $60 didn't give you nothing. It's not like you bought $60 for a cake and there was no icing on it. You got icing on it, but if you want to put sprinkles on it, that's an extra $5, right? $60 gets you a nice cake, and you got that. And you're gonna complain that you didn't get sprinkles on your cake? No, you paid the extra bucks for the sprinkles. I don't see anything wrong with that at all.
I do, because my cake didn't cost $60.
Your cake did cost $60. You got
what? What cake cost $60? What like? What
are you talking about? $8K?
No. Like I'm like, what cake are you getting?
Well, there's premium cakes, you know.
Oh sure, but you definitely get a lot more for a premium cake.
But yeah, we're talking about a premium cake, like a 3-layer cake or whatever, and has beautiful icing, this great decoration, right? $60, whatever, boom. But if your cake has sprinkles because you paid an extra $5, I'm not gonna cry about it. I say, why didn't I get sprinkles? I paid $60. Well, he paid $65.
Please.
But yeah, guys, go ahead and let us know in the comments what you think of. Do you think it's better for the free content to come and you get the optional battle pass, or do you want to be locked behind a season pass that could be, anywhere between 15 to 40, $60? And Bios, please let everybody know where they can find us.
All right, guys, you can listen to us on my YouTube channel, Bios101, or you can listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. We're basically on all platforms.
And guys, always remember,
Get your game sense up.